Hi boys and girls. Today we are going to talk about x-rays and we are going to read a story called Franklin Goes to the Hospital. Have you ever broken an arm or a leg or any kind of bone? Or do you know someone that has? That's something you can talk about with your family. So we are going to read this Franklin story about going to the hospital. Franklin sometimes has colds and tummy aches, and every now and then he got cuts and bruises. He went to the doctors for regular checkups, and once the doctor came to Franklin's house. But until now, Franklin had never been to the hospital. Franklin and his friends were playing soccer. The ball was kicked to Franklin and it hit him right in the chest. "Ow!" he groaned, and he kept on playing. That night at bath time, he said "ouch" when his mom was helping him dry his tummy off. His mom took a closer look. I think we're going to have to go to the doctor the first thing tomorrow." So the next day, they went to see Dr. Bear. She poked and prodded his shell. She discovered a small crack. "It isn't serious, Franklin," she said, "but I have to put a pin in your shell to help it grow properly. I'll schedule an operation for you tomorrow morning at the hospital." "Will it hurt?" said Franklin. "We'll give you sleep medicine before your operation so you won't feel a thing. When you wake up, you'll be a little sore, and it will grow back together, and we'll make sure that you're okay." Dr. Bear explained that operations can only be done when a patient has an empty stomach, so he couldn't eat or drink anything before bedtime the night before. Franklin didn't mind. His tummy was too busy flip-flopping around to worry about eating. After school, Franklin's friends came to visit him. Franklin showed them the book about hospitals and Dr. Bear had given them. Fox pointed to a picture and said, "Why was everyone wearing a mask?" "Masks keep germs out of operating rooms," said Franklin. "Are you scared?" said Beaver. "Of course not," said Bear. "Franklin's so brave." Franklin didn't say anything because he was a little nervous inside. It was early when Franklin and his parents left the hospital with his blue blanket and Sam clutched in his arms, which is his stuffed dog. He said goodbye to his room. His mom and dad gave him a hug. "You're going to be home tomorrow." "I know," he said softly. "You're a very brave little turtle," said Mom. At the hospital, Franklin was given a bracelet with his name on it. Then an attendant came and pushed him down in a wheelchair. Franklin stared at the strange equipment on the carts and trolleys as he went down the hallway, and it had a kind of a funny, unfamiliar smell. "What's that smell?" "It's kind of a lot of cleaning supplies that they use in the hospital." At last he reached his room. A nurse gave Franklin a special gown to wear. She took his temperature and his blood pressure and listened to his heart. Next, she rubbed some cream on his hand. "This will numb your hand. Then it won't hurt when the doctor puts a little needle in for sleep medicine." "Okay," he said. "You've been a very brave patient." Soon the attendant came back to take Franklin to another room. Dr. Bear was waiting. "We're going to take some x-rays. I know exactly where to put the pin in." "I need to know where to put the pin in." "I don't want x-rays." "X-rays don't hurt," said Dr. Bear. "The machine only takes a picture of what's inside on your bones." "I know," and he started to cry. Dr. Bear sat down. "Please tell me what's wrong." Franklin sniffled. "Everyone thinks I'm brave, but I've just been pretending. X-rays will show that inside I'm scared." "Oh, Franklin," said Dr. Bear, "an X-ray doesn't show feelings. It only shows shell and bones." "You mean no one will know I'm afraid?" "No one. But just because you're afraid doesn't mean you aren't brave. Being brave means doing what you have to do no matter how scared you feel." And you can see some of the x-rays right here of some of the bones. So Franklin thought for a few minutes. "Well, I am scared to have the operation," he finally said, "but I know I have to so my shell grows big and strong." Dr. Bear smiled. "That's what being brave is all about." Franklin let out a big sigh. "I'm ready now." When x-rays were done, Franklin was taken to the waiting room. "We aren't allowed into the operating room," Franklin said to his father, "but we'll be here when you get back." Soon Dr. Bear came to get Franklin. They went in the operating room. Franklin said hello to the other doctors and nurses. Dr. Bear put stickers on Franklin's chest and explained that this is how they were going to watch his breathing and his heart rate during the operation. Then Dr. Raccoon put the needle for the sleep medicine in his hand. It didn't hurt at all. When that was done, Franklin was asked to count backwards from 100. But I can only count backward from 10. That's okay, said Dr. Bear. Just count back from 10. 10, 9, 8, began Franklin, and that was as far as he got. Wake up, Franklin, said a faraway voice, but Franklin didn't wake up. He didn't want to wake up, but inside he was having a dream about scoring the winning goal. Slowly, Franklin opened his eyes. He saw his parents and Dr. Bear. I haven't finished counting yet, he said, in a wobbly voice. But I finished operating, said the doctor, with a laugh. 2 hours later, Franklin was back in the hospital room, and he walked slowly to the mirror and looked at his bandages. I guess it'll be a while before I can play soccer again, he sighed. Dr. Bear thinks you're going to heal very quickly, said Father. She said that you were an excellent patient. Franklin smiled. That night after Franklin's parents had gone home, Dr. Bear came to see him, and she showed him his x-rays. Is that me, he said. That's you, brave through and through. Now I want to show you some x-rays of some real bones. This is Grandma Pat's wrist when she broke her wrist, and this is an x-ray of how she broke her bone, and they put a pin in it so that it could heal back together.